What is the biggest opportunity that each of you see for nonprofits over the next year?
Yeah, I think for me, looking at things through an office leasing lens, if every company is different, like I said, if your groups all work from home and that's worked great for you, then great. But if in your heart you know that your firm's going to have some sort of office footprint indefinitely, there has never been a better time to step up to the negotiations table because the tenants have all the leverage. And I think in my experience, the clients we work with, it's common for people to just kick the can down the road and say, hey, I'll revisit it down there. It's whether it's a financial component, whether it's a, hey, they just don't want to deal with it if their lease isn't up for 2 years, or they don't want to be the bad guy to make that decision. Well, I think, after this recession, to whatever degree it might be, if we do get into that and there is potentially an uptick in office space, then it's going to be much more competitive out there. And I think there's an opportunity right now to get terms and get to space that you would have never been able to entertain pre-pandemic. I think I focused on downtown LA in this conversation, but you look at a market like Century City, you look at a market like Culver City, those office markets are doing just fine. In 5 years from now, or 5 years ago, there's groups that would have never even entertained getting into that type of submarket or a space that's high end with new finishes that now is within reach as rates have dropped. So that's something that I would be mindful of, and groups are getting creative too. I think even if you're on the flip side and still looking to sublease space and get more cash on hands, you can get aggressive with your sublease rates, because the other side of the token is that there's groups trying to get into nice space that would be willing to pay 50 cents on the dollar, and both sides can win there. So I think even if your real estate decision is years away, there's things you can do proactively now to get ahead of it. We're in negotiations with the group downtown that is doing a blend and extend, is the term in my world, where they know they're paying above market rate right now as rates have decreased, and they locked in their rate 5 years ago. And so they're saying, hey, we'll sign our 10-year extension right now, 2 years ahead of time, but you give us the lower rate, and then landlord, you win because you've locked us in for 10 years. And so there's always something creative you can do there if you know you're going to have an office footprint in some capacity, even if that's decreased over the past 5 years or so.